What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, like, comment, subscribe, share this channel with somebody. Uncle, auntie, nephew, neighbor, don't matter who or when or why. Share this channel with somebody. Now, I know y'all heard about the healthcare CEO, I believe. A lot of people are saying this is a criminal, but me personally, I feel like this is a hero. Like, this is honestly a hero. Health businesses, they don't care about us. I mean, eventually y'all will realize just overall, none of our government care about us. It's just what we can do for them. The money they can get from us. You know, rich get richer, poor get poorer. So, yeah, it's a hero, national treasure. Let's just get into this.
Breaking news, we have new video of Luigi Mangione's arrival at a courthouse in Pennsylvania.
I don't even
That's
think
where
it's
we
the
are
real
anticipating an
person,
extradition hearing for the 26-year-old Ivy League graduate and high school valedictorian.
I just feel like they're
accused in
trying
the
to just
murder
lock
of health
somebody up
insurance
just to
CEO
set an
Brian
example.
Thompson.
Yeah, let's see this
You
moment.
can't be
It
doing
is
this,
actually
basically.
sort of something to watch. He was trying to send a message, but police rush him off very quickly.
Pay attention to what he said,
Right, so
too.
we just heard him yell that about it, sort of something being unjust. This is an insult to the intelligence of the American people. Let's bring in trial attorney Mercedes Colwin with us.
It's true.
Look, this is someone between what you're hearing him say right there, manifesto, messages left on these bullets. I mean, this is someone on a mission, it appears. He is the alleged killer in this case. We have to be very clear about that. He's facing an extradition hearing here, but I just wonder what you think of a moment like that as you see it, knowing the evidence that police say they have on this person.
Brianna, it's very disturbing, and those types of outbursts will certainly be evaluated.
You gotta
by
watch
his
these
defense team,
videos
because
too,
that's just not
because
normal.
pictures
I
are
mean, we've
telling
already
million
had
things,
reports that he
but
has been
videos
very
will show
strange
otherwise. I
since
saw the
early
pictures
summer,
of this.
that he's
They
become
look way
reclusive.
worse
This
than what this
manifesto
video
is
is.
rantings and ravings of an individual that obviously has some aberrant thoughts in his mind, and that's why he put it down on paper. So all of that is certainly very disturbing. The defense is going to have to evaluate whether this is an individual that really will even understand the charges. I mean, they may, depending on how aberrant his thoughts are, he has to be able to understand the process and the proceedings, even at this stage. And if there's some indication that he isn't able to do so, there might have to be some psychological evaluation, and then that will be reported back to the judge, and the judge will make the ultimate ruling as to whether or not to proceed with the proceeding. But this type of outburst is definitely very disturbing.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Did he give us
We saw
school shooter
officers
vibes?
shuffling
Did he give us
in
school
as
shooter
quickly as
vibes?
possible. I'm wondering, Mercedes,
Dude.
as you're talking about the suspect here having a grasp of what the proceedings are going to be like, what actually happens at an extradition hearing?
There has to be an establishment by the demanding state. Demanding state is New York. The asylum state is Pennsylvania. So the demanding state, that New York has to establish to law enforcement that this is the individual that was the alleged shooter of Brian Thompson. So they'll have to go through the evidence that we've already described, the manifesto, the ghost gun, the images that we saw, even the eyewitness, and they may even bring in some of the eyewitness when he was discovered. The arresting officer in Pennsylvania will come forward and talk about the exchange that he had with Mangione. It's already been reported that arresting officer, when asked Mangione, the first words out of his mouth, it's been reported, he asked Mangione, were you in New York? And certainly Mangione, at least this officer, claims that he was very nervous when asked
Oh,
that
that's the
question.
person.
So there will be testimony, there will be evidence, but Mangione can waive it. I mean, depending on whether he waives it, it doesn't sound, to Brianna's point, doesn't sound like he may waive the hearing. And if he does waive the hearing, then he will be extradited without any further process. It doesn't sound like that's going to happen. It will have to be. It certainly sounds like there will be this process with witnesses and evidence being set forth before the judge. And the judge will make the ultimate ruling that there is probable cause to establish that Mangione is, in fact, the alleged killer of Brian Thompson.
And we are anticipating news out of that hearing soon. Mercedes Colwyn, thank you so much for giving us your analysis. CNN's Bryn Gingras has been covering every twist and turn on this case. Bryn, what is happening at this extradition hearing?
Yeah, so listen, Boris, we have a reporter inside the courtroom right now. They're not allowed to have any sort of communication, so we don't quite know just yet if that hearing has started. We're still waiting.
Y'all notice all these millionaires and billionaires
we know
just
that
getting.
he is inside of
Y'all
that
notice
courthouse,
that?
at least from that
All
sort
of
of
them.
combative moment there, as you showed the viewers, where it took several sheriff's deputies to calm him down and get him inside of that building. As you said, this is really the first time that we are hearing from him, his own voice. We do know that he does have a defense attorney who's representing him for this extradition hearing. We know that New York asked for this extradition. A warrant for his arrest has been issued, so it's now up to the judge to go forward with this. The judge, rather, to go forward with this hearing, and he has the decision to either fight it or to actually move forward, where people from the NYPD and Marshal's office will bring him here to New York. And we're learning that that could happen sometime tonight, could be even sometime tomorrow.
And Bryn, what are we learning about a potential motive?
Yeah, so Boris, there's an intelligence
This
report
case is
that
like the
shared
perfect
among
example of
the
like
intelligence community all across
why
the
typically
country that
like
came
just
from
don't
the
mess with people or
NYPD,
like bully or
overseen by
harass
our,
people
John
because you
Miller,
never
and it
know
really
when
gives some more
somebody's having a
details
bad
about
day.
that
Even when they
three-page
having a
document that
bad day,
authorities did
you never
find
know what
on
can happen.
Mangione,
They can just
they say,
turn up,
when
go
they
crazy,
made
and
that
just
arrest. And it talks
school
about
shooter
sort of his
vibes.
hatred with the healthcare industry, and it talks about how he somewhat viewed himself as, committing a symbolic takedown with this alleged act that he is accused of. In it, he basically said the mafioso has gotten too powerful and to continue the abuse of our country for immense profits. And he kind of paints himself, according to this report, as somewhat of a hero, saying that evidently I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. Now, of course, you've heard Governor Shapiro from Pennsylvania come out. You've seen the New York governor come out and say he is no hero. Of course, we should not be celebrating this person, but it certainly is giving a little bit more detail as to a motive possibly of why he is accused of this horrific crime. We also are learning more from friends and family, right? We have been talking to many people, some who have lived with him, some people who knew him in college and high school, who say, they were close to him over social media or keeping in touch with him, but he sort of fell off the grid this last summer. And one person we spoke to talked about a back injury that he was dealing with, which also might be something that could be connecting the dots to the healthcare industry. But let's hear more from this person who actually lived with him in Hawaii at one point.
Reaching.